So we're excited to know about what the city of Jacksonville is doing with the military. It blows me away when we had Harrison talk once before to a small group of people, but what's going on in the city and how it's impacting the nation is amazing. And Harrison's going to tell us all about that. And it impacts business, it impacts our population. We said #1 military retirement place in the world. How about that? And your kids thought Jacksonville, Florida, that's nothing much, right? It's an outstanding place to live, I know. I've only been here 50 years. So, but I appreciate it. So let's give Harrison a big round of applause. We're talking about the the Navy and the militaries and what the city of Jacksonville is doing to support all of these efforts. It's really amazing to learn about. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. I'm glad we had a chance to stretch there for a minute. I saw my friend David Urey had to slip out. I've known him for 30 years or so. So I see other people in the room. I've been involved with the faith community myself for a long time. Tony, God bless you for what you're doing there, especially on the west side. And I've got some middle-aged kids, so you're really impacting that age group, and I appreciate what you do out there. So I know, and a lot of you are engaged in doing these things. Reverend Washington, I was probably the promise keeper. I saw you speak here, so thank you for being here today and what you've done for many, many years for our community and our nation. So appreciate it. I am Harrison Conyers. I am the Director of Military Affairs and Veterans for the city of Jacksonville. We are blessed in Jacksonville. We are one of 2 communities in the entire United States that has a Department of Military Affairs and Veterans Department that answers to the mayor. So New York and us, and we're a lot better than New York. A couple of reasons why we do that, and I'll talk about that probably redundantly here a little bit. Jacksonville is a military town. 6 bases here. 150,000 veterans live in Jacksonville, Florida. Got about 35,000 active duty military and defense contractors that live here. And if you think about just them and their families, 1 in 4 of our population. And they're the people we want here. We talked about being a retirement, Navy's #1 last duty station that's requested, not Pearl Harbor, not San Diego, certainly not Norfolk. But Jacksonville, Florida, because of the quality of life that we have here and because of the culture that we have here. And it's part of my job to make sure that we keep that culture here, because we want these people in our working for us because of the work ethic they bring, because of the character they bring. We want them in our PTAs, our little leagues, our churches, and our synagogues in the community. And really what makes Jacksonville such a special place to be. So again, thank you for what you do. So let's see. So that's kind of a little bit about our population there. I talked about the fact, it's 1 in 4 of our population. It's really the culture of what we have here in Jacksonville, Florida. So a couple of things. What we do as a department. Did I flip over one? No, that's right. So what we do. So my department is tasked with multiple jobs. One is helping veterans connect to their earned benefits. As a result of their service and when they served, how they served, they're entitled to different benefits. You know GI Bill, you've heard GI Bill. Disability, it's a big issue right now, veterans' disability. A lot of them have disabilities, and it can be everything from a bum knee, hearing loss, to 100% disability. And you see a lot of advertisements on TV, these attorneys that want them to come in there and hire that law firm to represent them to get their VA disability. And I hope there's nobody in the room that does that, but we do it for free and we do it better. And those attorneys are taking the first 5 months of their VA benefits from them when they do that. And they're charging them for fees up front for certain doctors. They send them to certain doctors to get certain diagnoses, to help get those benefits and different records they create. So a lot of expense on the veteran's part. And I can tell you that a lot of those attorneys call my staff to ask for advice on how to file these claims. So you're in churches, you're with groups around town. Obviously, there are veterans that you interact with. If there's probably veterans here in the room, come downtown City Hall. 7 highly trained veteran service officers, basically paralegals, that do this every day of the week from 7 a.m. in the morning until 3 p.m. in the afternoon, just on a walk-in basis. So we're there to help you with that. We do a lot of other things. So I talked about that, the disability that we do. Last year, we pulled in for citizens of Jacksonville, Florida, over $800 million going into their bank accounts for disability or pension. So you're getting a 500 to 1 ROI for my department of what the city's spending. And that's pretty good. If those are in business, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good ROI of what you're getting back. We also do social services in the department. I'll talk about that a little bit. So some veterans are kind of down on their luck and I need a hand up. And we very much believe in the concept of hand up, not hand out in our department. We give out rent and utility assistance, and we do it one time. We ask them to pay it forward. We ask them to pay us back over 6, 9 months, whatever, $25 a month. If they do that, they can come back in the future if they get in a pickle again. If they don't, we'll refer them to somebody else for help in the future, but we will not continually give them financial assistance for their rent and utilities. We also do a lot of employment work there at City Hall too. The department itself also brings in grant dollars. Since 2015, we have brought in over $13 million in grants that we utilize for multiple things, for social services. But I also use that on the military side too. So one of the jobs I get to do, we're across the river here from the Navy base. We've got 2 Navy bases here, 3 installations if you include Outlying Field White House. And we buy the development rights to land around those bases. So we've got landowners that own land. They have either whatever use they've got. It could be a farm, could be a large house with acreage. So what we do is we buy the development rights so they can keep living there. It's their land forever. They can sell the land. They can live like they do. But when they die, grandkids can't turn around and sell their 500 acres and put 2,500 homes on it. So we're preventing encroachment from around the bases so that the bases can keep operating like they do, keep doing the missions that they do. Virginia has had that issue. They allowed churches and some shopping malls to build up around the airfields out there, and they had to turn around and levy a sales tax and come and buy those properties back and demolish them. So we're being proactive in Jacksonville, Florida by kind of being preemptive, and it's with willing sellers. Nobody's forced to do that program with us. I talked about the fact that we're talking about veteran services. We've got 7 veteran service officers in the department, highly trained and know what they're doing. And we work with, sometimes the first answer you get from the VA when you file a claim is no. And they're overwhelmed, so it's a lot of times easier for them to say no and get it off their desk than it is to really go through it. We work with people through those claims and help them get to yes, help them get the documentation they need, help them provide the proof they need to get what they've actually earned. And we'll stay with them for years. And sometimes we'll see people that have taken 3 years or so from the time they initially filed until we get the determination they need. And then suddenly they'll get a wire transfer into their bank account for $300,000. And that's kind of life-changing for them to do that. So the staff is right there in City Hall. We do a monthly newsletter to provide information on the different events that we do throughout the community and different things that are going on, not just what we're doing, but some of the partner organizations. If Red Cross is doing something, if Salvation Army is doing something, if Sulzbacher is doing something that impacts veterans, we want you to know about it. If you're interested in receiving that newsletter, give Tiffany your card. Tiffany's in the back, Tiffany Morales. She'll get you on that newsletter. We do daily e-blast for events that are going on to really keep you up to speed on it. And we've got a very, very robust webpage. So if you go to jacksonville.gov and click on military affairs, you'll see calendars for all the stuff we're doing. You'll see different programs that we do and information kind of from the services we provide. We don't just provide services in City Hall, okay? If you've got an organization, a church or whatever, and you've got a number of veterans that you'd like us to come out and provide our services to, we've got an outreach vehicle. We love the Jaguars. We're glad they made the playoffs this year. Normally they don't, but they've been a blessing to us. They help fund an outreach vehicle where we can come out and bring our services to places, and we'll send a VSO or whatever's needed out to your place to help serve veterans out in the community too. We also work at 2 different libraries every month, and so when we work at something like a Fleet Landing and other places that we'll go to take our services. So it's not just there in City Hall. Okay. Within our office itself, still here. We've got a team that's dedicated to working with homeless vets. We've got a homeless problem in Jacksonville, Florida. Um, a lot of reasons for that. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's drug related. Divorce is a huge issue with homelessness. Sometimes it's by choice, and we see that. But when we have veterans that want to resolve the situation, we've got a team that's dedicated to working with them. So we're not just getting them into housing, we're getting them into a job, because we fully expect them within 3 or 4 months of being in the transitional housing we get them into, of being self-supporting. So we'll get them whatever training they need, whatever tools, resources, clothing, certifications, whatever they need to help them become self-sufficient. Last year, we took in 90 clients that were homeless vets off the streets of Jacksonville, Florida, and 69 of those are still in employment today, and they're self-sufficient. So very successful programs in the 70s, 70s, close to 80% success rate with that program. So we know it works. A lot of money flows into Jacksonville to put people into housing, but that doesn't solve homelessness unless we get them to where they're self-sufficient. So that's our belief, and that's the way we practice there in the department. We also do tax filing at tax time. So if you're a veteran or a military member, you can call our office 255-5550 and get an appointment, and we will do your tax filing for you, as long as it's not a super a corporate filing or something like that. And last year we had over $500,000 in refunds for veterans in the community. So we do that. We also partner with Career Source. Career Source comes to our office 3 days a week. So we've got those Career Source services. If you're a veteran and you're in a job and you want to be in a better job, we can work with you. We can work with you on resumes. We can work with you on looking what postings are out there. If you're out of work, we'll certainly help work with you. And we also work with military spouses to help them find employment while they're here in Jacksonville, because we want to make sure that their home life is as stable as it can possibly be. Okay, so I talked about the grants that we do. We're called the Jacksonville Veterans and Resource and Reintegration Center. It's just a generic name that we use for that whole pamphlet of services that we operate at City Hall. There's our outreach vehicle. We talked about Career Source. We talked about the tax filing. Monthly legal services are available at City Hall. So we've got the legal aid folks that come down and help veterans and military members with their legal services. We help with transition. We want the military to stay in Jacksonville when they decide to get out of the service. We want them to choose this is where they're forever home. So we've got a job site. And when we spoke in October, I think we spoke to the group in October or so, we've already had one of your members that's joined. It's called Jobs for Vets. So what is Jobs for Vets? It is over 500 local or locally based employers that want to hire veterans. So what do we require from them? They have to have open jobs. So they're not just collecting resumes, and they have to give us a paragraph of who they are and what they're about. And we take that, and we've got a website that combines all of those 500 companies into one web page, breaks it out by category: financial services, retail, Joe's Lawn Service, whatever it is. So when you're looking for a job, instead of having to shotgun it, you can go to one site and find all of those listings, and it connects to all those HR pages from that one page. And there's all kind of support information on there. There's a lot of tax incentives for people that hire disabled vets. So that information is on there for employers. And other kinds of things like bonding and things we can do that folks that may have an issue in their background, will help them with that. So that is a service we do. And so it's real easy. No cost involved. And if you've got a company and you want to hire vets, let us know and we'll get you hooked up there. Every year we do a Vetrepreneur Summit, typically in December. Tiffany's in charge of that. So we used to do about 3 career fairs a year. And so I challenged our staff about 10 years ago, and I said, let's drop one career fair and do something different. Let's do something for folks that want to start a business. What can we do? So we bring in financial people. We've been bringing in success stories of vets that have started a business. I think we have the social grounds people there that do that, and really connect them to all the services. UNF Small Business, the City of Jacksonville Small Business, all the resources that's necessary to start a business. So that's one thing we do every year. That is part of something that we do every fall called Celebration of Valor. So we used to do Veterans Day Parade. Most big communities do a Veterans Day Parade, and Jacksonville does it on steroids. I mean, we had 55,000 people out there this year cheering folks on, and we certainly do that. But we do what's called Celebration of Valor. From mid-October until mid-December, we do 25 events to recognize our veterans and our military here in Jacksonville. Everything from a mental health summit to 5Ks. We did, obviously, Veterans Day Parade. We did a career fair. We in the fall, we did Wreaths Across America, partnered with Wreaths Across America to lay wreaths at the National Cemetery. Over 20,000 wreaths were laid the week before Christmas on veterans' graves out there. And then we rented the baseball grounds and hosted the world's largest Army-Navy watch party. So that's a great game, $5 to get in. We had the clubhouse. So when can you get into the clubhouse or the baseball grounds for $5? All funds go to charity. We had the Army band from Fort Stewart come down and play. Great time. So if you'll get with Tiffany, you'll know all these events that we're doing. And that's not just for veterans. That was for citizens. Just patriotic citizens came out and had a great time watching the game on the big board there at the baseball ground. So lots of different things that we do there. We've got clothing and food assistance. We are expanding our food assistance. We know that with the SNAP issues that went on a couple months ago, that created some hardship for military families especially when they had the congressional issues, when they weren't getting paid there for a little bit. We do, and I'll talk about something else we do in just a minute, but we're setting up a food bank at City Hall. We're getting additional space in the Ed Ball building. We've got a commercial freezer. We typically at Christmas, we do Thanksgiving and Christmas baskets for veterans in need. We do that in partnership. Almost everything we do is in partnership, okay? We don't have the funding to do all the things that we're doing. So we partner. It's like with our Thanksgiving baskets, Evangel Temple is our partner. Their veterans ministry provides the hams and the turkeys. Feeding Northeast Florida provided the canned goods. And then we helped vet the clients of who has had the highest need. We did it again at Christmas with partnership there. We're always looking to partner with people. We're going to expand that to at least 6 times a year, where we do that food distribution with the new facilities that we're taking over there in City Hall. So we're always looking on ways to partner with faith community to expand what we do. So we'd love to partner with you out here if that is in your heart today. Advocacy. This is an area where I get to jump in. So we work the congressional and the Pentagon side to advocate for more ships, planes, and personnel here in Jacksonville, Florida. The military is $12.1 billion economic impact on Jacksonville every year. It's the #1 economic engine in Jacksonville, Florida. So we don't do it because it's the economic engine. We do it because it's the patriotic right thing to do. But you won't see any keep off the grass sailors signs in Jacksonville, Florida. We want more sailors. We want more airmen, Coast Guard folks here in Jacksonville, Florida. We want to support those military bases. Part of what we do is through that encroachment protection grant that I do, the purchases around the bases. But I liaison with the base commanders. I had a bunch down at the office today to make sure that we understand what their needs are, whether it's traffic, whether it's social issues, whether it's judicial issues, whatever we can do to support those bases to make sure that they know that Jacksonville is the #1 host city in the country for those bases. So that's, and then we do work the congressional and the Pentagon side and tell them that we don't have enough ships at Mayport. We want more ships. And that brings families and that brings students and that helps the schools when we do things like that. So some of the events we do there, you'll see last year City Council designated Jacksonville a Purple Heart City. We put up some signage along the roadways to do that. We do a Purple Heart walk every year. I don't know if y'all have ever seen it outside the Everbank Field. On the west side of Everbank Field is the Veterans Memorial Wall out there. It is the #2 memorial wall in the country next to the Vietnam Monument in size. So it's huge. We host the largest Memorial Day observance in the country, except for what happens in Washington, D.C. every year. And if you have ever, Memorial Day, most people are going to the beach, they're doing cookouts. We encourage you, come down Memorial Day, 8:30 in the morning, come to the wall, start the day off the right way. And we'll have you home by 10:30 at least. And we honor our fallen, we honor our Gold Star families. We make sure that the folks, over 1,700 names that are on that wall, that those folks aren't forgotten every year. And then we have the bands and the flyover and everything. So it's a great way to bring your kids or grandkids down there too, to see what's right about America. Homeland Veterans Stand Down, that's something coming up in 2 weeks for us on the, January 23rd, 24th. We have a 2-day event. First day is a career day. Second day is a day of service where we provide career resources, help do on-spot placement for homeless vets. We do grooming. We do, dress for success. We'll do interviewing skills. We'll do resumes on the spot. And we have employers that are there on the Friday. On Saturday, we have all of our service partners that are there too, including a lot of faith partners that are there. And the homeless veterans come, they come for two things. Clothing, we get a lot of surplus clothing that we give out, and the food. But to get to that, they have to go through all the service stations and meet up with the mental health providers, the dental health providers. We do free dental care. We have the nurses from the VA there. We got the Duval County Health Department there that's doing shots for them, all kind of other services that we have there for them. So that's coming up. And we're partnering for that event with the We're for Jesus Church there on North Main Street. So for years, we've done it at the fairgrounds. Well, the fairgrounds are no more, at least downtown. They're moving out to the west side. So this year, we moved up and partnered with We're for Jesus to do that event. And last year, I think we served over 600 homeless veterans at that event. So that's coming up. And then Military Spouse Night Out, another event that Tiffany does. So I challenged staff years ago. I said, we do an awful lot for the military service members. But what about the spouse that stays at home and mans the home front? What can we do for them? So my staff have taken it and really done a great thing. We rent the ViStar Veterans Arena. We have food and drink, and we give away dresses and cruises. And we've got a man cave for the male spouses. There's not as many, but there's some. And we've got all kind of hair care and cuticle care and massage therapy for one night. And every year we see spouses walk out of there in tears, saying no other community has ever done anything like this for us. It really makes Jacksonville feel like home. So that's another event that we do every single year. Last year, 53 events that my staff of 18 pulled off. We're not funded for any of that. There's no taxpayer dollars that fund that. We do it through partnerships. Memorial Day is funded through partnerships with Chase Bank and Wounded Warrior Project. All these projects are with partnerships. And you get a lot of PR coverage, a lot of exposure. So if you've got a company and you want to help sponsor an event with us, we're in the business of talking to you about that. So you don't hear government say that too often, but we run a very lean, conservative department there. So we get a lot of bang for the buck there in our department. So the food pharmacy. Back in 2024, the skipper of Naval Station Mayport called and said, I've noticed with inflation that a lot of my sailors are putting their grocery bills on their charge cards. What can you do? This is not anything we ever did before. Hadn't been our line of work. And really, we're not required to do things like that. But I thought, well, let's think about it here. Within 3 weeks, we had partnered with Catholic Charities, Humana, Beam, and Feeding Northeast Florida to set up a drive-through grocery store. And it started at Naval Station Mayport. The next year, we expanded it to Naval Air Station Jacksonville. It's off the base, and we are now serving up to 300 vehicles twice a month at each one of these sites, impacting over 4,000 military service members a month. We're providing free meat, cheese, milk, female supplies, diapers, whatever they need through partnerships in the community. So we're very, very proud of that we were able to kind of stretch our wings and pull that together. Again, partnerships is the key word there. What else? So I think I've got the other one. Yeah. So just the two different bases that we're doing. So here on the west side, we're partnering with a couple different charities there to do that. But it's really been wonderful to see that impact on lives in the community. So the mayor has challenged us with doing something. We know we've got senior centers in Jacksonville. We got community centers for kids and stuff like that. We've never had a veterans community center. So she challenged us first, I want you to open up a veterans community center. And Tiffany's got some books back there. If you guys are interested in that concept, we've got some more, some thicker books that you can look through. So we decided it's not going to be just a veterans community center, but it's going to be a veterans and military family community center. So we have found land in the Cathedral District of downtown, and we've looked through some surveys that we did a couple years ago of what veterans say they need. They need access to services, one. So we are creating a space that not only has meeting space for veterans and military families, has a cafe attached that we're hoping to find a corporate sponsor with to help support the meetings there. It will have meeting space for community partners that want to deliver services to that population. We will provide free space. So whether it's Career Source, whether it's the free tax filing, whether it's Catholic Charities, whoever it is, we'll provide space within our building to help provide services. We're going to have a gym for them, so we can do yoga for vets and other things to help give them some of that exercise and that what they may not be able to access at home. And I think I'll show you a picture of where it is. It's right there on Washington Street in the Cathedral District. So it backs up. It's a district. It's an area that's starting to become gentrified a little bit. Right now, when we first looked at it, it was a rough area, but it is quickly being built out. So we're glad we found the space there. It's on Washington Street. It's in it's right down from the cathedral in downtown, and it backs up. You can see the green space behind it. That's Hogan's Creek. So what's going on with Hogan's Creek? The Emerald Trail. The city and other partners are spending over $150 million to develop the Emerald Trail. So what I said, well, let's not just create a space to meet, a space to go to the gym. Let's create a recreational space. So we have parkland. We're going to have exercise equipment to attract the younger veterans and their families out there. And we're going to have bikes and kayaks, so they'll be able to access the Emerald Trail and paddle up Hogan's Creek with all the restorations going on there. Take the bikes down the Emerald Trail, which is going to be 50 miles or so of trails there through the community. And we're in design with Haskell right now for that concept. So we're very excited about that. Why do I mention that? Well, one, because you need to know what we're doing as a city. Two, because we are looking for corporate sponsors. We're looking to sell naming rights to this facility. And we have reached out to many people in the community about that, but there may be people here today that have an interest in that. And if you want your name or your company's name or somebody you know's name on that building to show them your commitment to veterans and military families here in Jacksonville, we're glad to talk to you about that. So, and we talked about the kind of the statement of need, projects, goals, measurable outcomes. This is based on a community-wide survey that we did with UNF of what the needs are. So that's why we're basing the services that we do off that concept. So kind of a project overview. That's the older building. We're going to build a building kind of like that, but we're going to tear down the existing building that's there right now. Has a lot of asbestos in it, and it's really cheaper to build from ground up and do it the way you want to, ADA compliant, than it is to try to make that building asbestos free there. We also will have a chaplain. I've made that very clear to staff. We'll have a chaplain there at the facility. Just some pictures of some of the events that we do here in the community. Other thing I wanted to touch on just real quick, I know I've talked for a long time. We've got some pictures up here. Again, if you've been to the Veterans Memorial Wall, especially on Memorial Day, and I don't know if anybody's been there on Memorial Day is hot, okay? I've done it for 20 years out there working at that event. For the last 6 or 7 years, the city has rented a tent to put over the seating area of the arena there. They spend $130,000 for a tent for one day, okay? I thought there's got to be, we got to be able to do better than that, right? Okay, so the mayor has encouraged us to move forward. We have a new design for a permanent seating structure there that will have built-in fans, built-in speakers, LED lighting. It will turn that space into a 365 space, so we'll be able to do other events there all year long. The mayor has put forward, the city council has put forward $2 million worth of funding for us. That's not all we need. Again, we're looking for corporate partners that may want to help us and may want to put their names on that to help memorialize this space. Remember our Gold Star families and the 1,700 names that we have on that wall every year. So we're looking for opportunities with that. I just wanted to show you the second concept there is it's going to have the ability to have that computerized lighting. So you could do a flag, you could do Coca-Cola, you could do a Jaguar head, whatever. You could do your company's logo there. And especially for football games, Goodyear blimp flying overhead is a great way to provide some advertising. It's a great way to really show these people that have sacrificed their all, what Jacksonville thinks of them. So just two concepts that we've got out there. Would love to partner with you guys. And if you've got other ideas, we're there for you. Our office is open in City Hall 5 days a week, but we work pretty much 6 or 7 days a week. So if you've got events that we need to support that impact military families, that impact veterans, let us know. We're very interested in partnering with you. And just real quickly, if you've got questions, I would love to answer them.
Thank you. You got 2 questions. Who has a question? You didn't cover enough ground.
Well, I'm sorry. Mr. Stockton.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And I didn't realize everything that you did. But do you have like a pamphlet that has all these scheduled events that's going to be taking place?
Well, the best thing to do is to give Tiffany your business card, and you'll get every month, you'll get a newsletter, and almost daily, you'll get e-blasts. Like for the food pharmacy, you'll know, so you can share it with people. When we're doing Memorial Day or their Veterans Day, you'll see that information. We're going to be very, very involved. This actually is 2026, right? 2026 is our country's semi-sesquicentennial, 250th. So we have, through our department, we have worked with the city to make sure that we are not going to let that pass without due recognition. So right now we are working to have a community-wide concert of some known artists at the arena at very reduced prices. Coming up close to July 4th of 2026. We're going to do a freedom fest down on the riverfront with activities for families down there on that day. We're going to do art contest for kids of what freedom means to me. And our department is working on an hour-long TV special that we're going to have of 250 people you might recognize in the community, stating what America means to them, what freedom means to them. During 250. So
I love your wise statement that housing isn't the answer to homelessness.
it's a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't have a question. I just have a comment. You are a fabulous asset for this community.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Whenever you might consider retiring or something, that you have someone behind you as good as you, because you're getting it done.
Well, I'm sure. Listen, I feel very strongly the Lord put me in the right place at the right time. 2 weeks from now will be my 30th year, so I'm about halfway through my service there. So.
Tiffany's going to...
I just want to let you know that this morning Harrison was the recipient of the Defense Alliance Community Champion Award.